I'm using my son's camera today. So, and you know what I just did is that I'm going to stop it, make sure that I am taping and that I'm lined up and that I'm in the screen because who knows. I always have trouble with my own camera, so I better double check this one. So I just stop in a minute to check and look, everything looks lined up and everything. But I don't know how well his camera picks up audio and stuff. So good luck or whatever and see how this rolls. So anyway, I didn't go up to the lake last weekend like I was going to because I had a 3-day weekend, right? Because, oh Lord, I have been auctioning. And not going to auctioning, but you know how eBay works, and that's like online auction or buy it now or, you know, best offer bids and stuff. And this is a local auction place that has like the old fashioned where you go to the place and hey, bid, and you could bid on the stuff. But they also have a lot of online auctions, so they'll still do it where they'll go to different places and do the on-site auctions and whatnot. Puppy's going to start barking again, Dad's home. But they do a lot of online stuff. So what they do is, if you're not familiar, I will let you know what they do. What they do is they will go to an establishment. Sorry about that. I might have lots of interruptions today. Not organized today. It's one of them days. So they'll go to, let's say it's and that's what I did. It was an estate sale, and it was an estate sale of one of the neighbors locally who I know. And it's so sad. I mean, I'm so sentimental anyway, but what they do is they'll go into the house, and this one was like a big estate sale where the family must have wanted a few things and just left everything else. You know, and the thing is, the people that the estate sale was for must have been 90-ish, so their kids could be 60 pluses or in that range, so they might not even, you know, they have their own household and their own kids and their own grandkids, and, you know, they might go and just take a few little keepsakey things, or the grandkids might, but they have their own lives, and they've had, you know, 60 plus years of their own stuff, right? So what they do is, like, they'll go into the kitchen, and they will open up the kitchen cupboards, pictures of everything. You know, they'll take like one view picture and then they'll like close up other things, so like you get anywhere from 3 to 5 different pictures. And they do that through the whole house to the point where it's like the bathroom, they open up the bathroom drawers, bathroom cupboards, and that's what you were bidding on, was this. And let's say you just, you know, this is the way auctions are, it's sold in lots, right? So if you just want one thing out of that lot, you got to buy the whole lot. And it's a lot of stuff, if you want it or not. So that's what I was doing, and this would have been a week and 2 weeks ago, so I didn't go up last weekend to the lake. And auctions are bad. Me and my dad, when I was younger, high school age, even past high school age, before I had the kids, he'd call me and say, hey, there's an auction over at so-and-so, you want to meet me there? I'll pick you up. I'm like, yeah, and oh, Lord, some of the stuff we bought. But back in the day, I was just starting up my household, so we didn't have anything. I mean, I was fresh out of college, and I had a very, very, very part-time job, and I wasn't making a lot. My husband was making, I think he was making, what did my first job start? Let me think. Oh, this will date me big time. But I think that my first job, and I thought it was good money. I thought this was big money. I think it was $6 an hour or something like that. And I think my husband was only making maybe $4, whatever the minimum wage, $4 something. It wasn't a lot. So we were both right on minimum wage, not making a lot. So this is how we got a lot of our stuff, was we go to an auction and I got a couch and I got a stove and I got this and I got that, you know, just to get by. And you can get stuff like really back in that day, you know, I think my couch I got for $3. If you'd have seen it, it was worth $3, but at least we had a couch because we didn't have one. So that's what we did. So I've been an auction person. My dad got me started back in the day. Oh, Lord, I got to tell you some of the stories about me and my dad sometimes. Scavenger hunt and all. That's why I am the way I am, I guess. Drove my mom nuts. So I've been online auctioning. So there was this estate sale, and two of the things I bid on, I'm like, why did you? I know why I bid on them, because I know how I am, and I love vintage stuff. But they had a vintage Formica table, and it must have originally had 6 chairs. It only had 4 left, but it was a mid-century, and the Formica top had like a arrow pattern all the way around the edge, and it was very nice. It had 2 leaves, good condition, had 5 of the original chairs. So like, oh, but you're short one. I always look at it as, I'm not short one, I have 4 plus 1, because no, you know, you're not going to usually have a full table set. It's usually going to be just a little 4. So I got that. And I'm gonna have to do a video of all the stuff that I got at these 2 estate sales and kind of explain what I paid for them. I got some really good deals. So there's this one side cart which I'm gonna use in our new camper. I have one for my old camper, and then I suppose I could truck it between the campers, but I don't wanna. And this one is a little bit newer. So I got a side cart, and it's like the metal wheel carts, and they use them for side buffets or side bars. And the top comes off, and it's a serving tray. So I wanted that cart. So bad, and they're expensive. You go to buy them at an antique store. So I wanted that cart. It was a great condition, and it was. So I was really lucky. It was in the condition that the pictures. They usually will have an open house that you can go and view these items and look through them and stuff. And I got out there. I didn't have time to look through this stuff. I was running late after work. Oh, it was a big old mess. So I didn't get to look at what I really wanted to look at, but it is what it is. It is kind of a gamble when you're auctioning or when you're buying stuff on online auctions like this. So I got the cart, but the deal was, if you got the cart, you had to have all of the knickknacks that were on the 3 shelves. And they packed this cart full of stuff. So off of this cart, I ended up keeping, and it was a lot of, you could tell it was a lot of stuff that probably that her grandchildren or her great-grandchildren probably gave her, little knick-knacky, cute little things, little red hat lady little things, just cute little kitsy things that you could tell were gifts from little ones of some sort. So I'm sure before they had the estate sale, everybody came through the house and got what they wanted. So the only thing I kept off the cart was a musical powder box, which is very cute. Not really good condition. I remember my mom had one, and I don't know what happened to it over the years. So it reminded me of my mom, so I kept that. And then, because it's sitting right on my dresser, they had this cute little, and I will just show you right now. I'm not going to show you all my stuff, but it's a little lipstick holder. Isn't it cute? Just a little porcelain one, so I kept that, of course. And then one other thing, since it's right here, I'll show you. This cute little, it's a toothpick holder, but when I used to belong to, I hope you can see that, back in the day when I was, not back in the day, it was only a few months ago when I used to belong to the Ipsy Bag of the Month Club, and I also belonged to a thing that's called Petit Four, whatever it is. You got samples every month, and you got all these little itty-bitty samples of stuff, and they don't fit in anything, so I thought, I will use that toothpick holder for that. So I kept that, and then a couple other little things. Well, you know how I am. All these treasures, I couldn't get rid of them. I could not get rid of these treasures, so what I did is I packed them all very nicely into a box, and a lot of ruckus out in the household today. And I took them all over to a thrift shop, and I just said, "Are you guys taking donations?" She goes, "Well, took a lot of donations today. What do you got?" And I said, "I have a whole huge box of knickknacks." She goes, "Oh yeah, we're always taking knickknacks." I'm like, "Oh good." It was a big box. It was a big box packed full of knickknack stuff and decoration stuff, and so I got my cart and a couple little things off of it, and took all that stuff over to the thrift thing. And then I also got, and that cart I got it for a reasonable price. Okay, I'll go over it when I do my little video of it. And that was a real reasonable price. The Formica table I got for a steal of a deal, just for the fact I thought I don't want this table and chair set. It's in such great shape from the 1960s. It's so cute to go to somebody who will pick it up for their, that'd be great for my kid in college for their, cause I'm sorry, but most college kids, you know how they are. They trash stuff. And I thought this just had, it was, and the chairs were really kind of neat the way they were with the back, and it was slanted, and it was just kind of a really cool set. So I saved it. Oh, Lord, I hope I don't start doing that. And I have a lady at work whose daughter is into very much into vintage stuff too, and she has a house that she's doing, and she's got a mid-century house. Love to see it, but she's doing it all in mid-century. So she says I'll talk to her this weekend and see if she'd be interested in this table and chair set, because she has a house that would be perfect in if she'd be interested in the style. Because when you're doing something that you're trying to do it a certain way, you want it to look exactly that way. I know how that is. I'm that way too. So I got that. I got a folding table and chair set that was mid-century also, and it looked really good in the pictures, and I got it, and she's pretty beat up, and my son goes, "Mom, for double that, you could have got a whole brand new set that would have been more sturdy than this." And I'm like, I know, and I shouldn't have, I wish I wouldn't have got it, but I got it all like, oh, look at that, and that's, my grandma had a set just like that, and I've got one of my grandma's sets right now. But hers is just kind of like simple, plain, whatever. It's probably from the 70s. It wasn't anything fancy. We just had you can totally tell it's a 1960s set from the setup. So I got that. And my plan is that even though I paid too much for it, that will go up to the, up north to the new trailer also, because when we open that up and we open the slide outside, we have that little booth dinette, which is fine, but that is not cohesive for card playing, and we are big euchre players. So I thought that will be perfect. The new place will have plenty of room where people can play cards, so we can have the whole card table set up right in the middle of the camper because of the slide outs. We got all that room. So that will have a home also. The new bar cart will will be in the new camper too for a little side bar, because I decided to keep, I was going to make the one area into a bar, and I thought I'm going to keep that as a little seating breakfast area, so people want to get up and have coffee in the morning. And I bought some cute little cushion covers because the stools were just kind of janky and like not anything too fancy, but I bought these great big fluffy cushion covers for it. So that will find a home. And what else? Oh, what else? She had some hats that were from the 50s for sure. But in that lot, you had to get the hats and some old hat boxes and her wigs and her husband's cowboy hat, which was not supposed to go with the refuse. And my husband asked, I was just sick. It was a beautiful black felt cowboy hat that somebody now today would have bought, and it was a large size. And he accidentally threw it on. Oh, it just made me sick. And I was almost going to go make him look through the dust. And I'm like, it is what it is. Sometimes that happens. So that, and what else did I get? Oh, Lord, I got a bunch of stuff. And a neat aqua mixer, my dream of having my aqua pink camper someday. So that will go in my someday. I hope I get that camper tote, and if not, I'll sell it at Camper Rally, because next year's Camper Rally, everybody's going to be allowed to have a little card table size for sale thing in front of their camp. Because remember I said that's a long 4 hours those days, and I thought it would be nice that at least they can have an opportunity, have an opportunity to sell some of their stuff. So, and like I said, I'm sorry if I'm like closer or farther away, or you can't, I don't know what's going to turn out. I'll find out when I take out my SD card and plug it into the computer and go, oh Lord, sorry about the bad video, but it is what it is too. So I'll go through all the stuff I got, but I did get rid of a lot of stuff, because to get a couple things out of the cupboards I wanted, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4 cupboards in one huge drawer. I had to take all of it to get what I wanted from it. And a lot of it was old aluminum bakeware, or aluminum, like the disposable aluminum, and it wasn't even nice to keep. Nobody would buy it or take it or anything, and it didn't have a that's vintage. It was just all kind of all beat up and whatever, from years and years and years of use. So we put all of the aluminum cookware into a recycle, and we're going to take that all over. My husband will take it because we like to recycle when we can. We take that over to the recycling, and then we had one that was, I didn't even take it to the Salvation Army or anything, because I had flashbacks of when I was cleaning my mom and dad's place out when they had passed away. It was like the Ronco onion cutter and the stuff from the 70s, 80s, and 90s that some gadget they might have seen on TV or in a store. Probably like Mom and Dad picked up a lot of their gadgets at garage sales. So that just went. A lot of it went. Some of it might not have had all the parts or pieces. So we had one pile that was aluminum recycle, one that was just refuse to get rid of, and then one huge box that was to take over to the thrift store. But that's part of these auctions. As you buy the lot, you get a lot to go through, and for me it's kind of like, but when I can at least give it to another thrift store, that makes me feel good. So that was Heinz auction number 1 that I did. That was an estate sale, and number 2 was there was, beknownst to hardly anybody in the community, this great big antique store outside of Ellsworth, Wisconsin. I mean, of course, because that's where I live. Outside of Ellsworth, and you always saw this sign that said Hidden Oaks Antiques. I'm like, where is it? It's probably somebody's little shed, something or whatever. I guess I passed that sign. I don't know how much, but I was usually going up north or coming back, and I just never stopped there. And it was local. I mean, it's like a 15-minute drive for me, but I never went over there. I thought, it's probably some little antique store. And I'm kind of more of I like to walk through antique stores, and sometimes I will buy stuff at antique stores, but I'm usually a thrifter. Salvation Army, Goodwill, Lady Church thrift stores or something like that. Or my local thrift store also. Talking a lot and talking fast today. So it was called Hidden Oaks. Well, Lord, when the anyway, I'm really sorry. This is the most disconjointed. It's like if you're having coffee with somebody and the telephone keeps ringing. That's what I'm doing today. So anyway, so this Hidden Oaks place is out there, and the pictures were unbelievable. I couldn't. Maybe it's a good thing I never knew the place was out there, because the stuff she had was beautifully, and it was probably the most beautifulest antique shop I've ever seen. It was set out in the country, and it was a pole building, but you drove up and it was all paved and huge parking lot and outside little garden area, huge beautiful entry door, and you walk in and felt so bad now after the fact that she closed up shop. But it was huge vaulted ceilings, glass cases everywhere, beautiful wooden displays, and it was huge. It was like a antique mall. I mean, I don't know. It was huge. It was a huge store. Everything looked like it had probably been very beautifully displayed, and she had everything from antiques to cute kitschy signs to soaps and toiletry things, like lotions and that type of stuff. So she must have had. If I would have known that was there, I probably would have been out there. But I guess I believe she must have gotten ill or something and wasn't able to run it anymore. And it's been closed down for over a year, I guess. And I thought that kind of makes sense because, what did you buy, Mary? Oh, I controlled myself. I kept my purchase to around $70, which was very good.